With Rangers season now all but over and silverware once again slipping through their fingers, attention has turned sharply to what many hope will be the dawn of a bold new era at Ibrox. The long-rumored 49ers Enterprises takeover is edging ever closer, with sources suggesting the deal could be sealed within the next month. And with that, a wave of change is about to crash over the club, both on and off the park. Fresh reports have surfaced painting a picture of what the future might look like under the new ownership, and there's no shortage of excitement or apprehension amongst the support. It's a time of enormous transition for Rangers. While the players closed out their annual award ceremony with some personal accolades, the reality is that this campaign has fallen short of the standards demanded by the club's history. But even amid the disappointment, there were moments worth remembering. Hamza Gomani's stunning late winner at Celtic Park was rightly crowned the men's goal of the season, and the Moroccan forward didn't stop there, picking up the Men's Young Player of the Year award as well. In the midfield, Nicholas Raskin, one of the few consistent bright sparks this term, walked away with 2 awards, the Men's Players Player of the Year and the Supporters Player of the Year. At just 16, Aidan Maughan was recognized as Academy Player of the Year after featuring on the first-team bench, while James Tavernier, the ever-present captain, was honored with a special recognition award after clocking up a remarkable 500 appearances for the club. Cyril Desairs, much maligned at times, was rewarded for his efforts in front of goal with the Sam English Bowl after notching 24 goals in 51 appearances. The women's side had their share of recognition too, with Katie Wilkinson named both Women's Players Player of the Year and top scorer, while young star Mia McCauley took home the Women's Young Player of the Year award. Yet even these celebrations came against a backdrop of uncertainty and restlessness. The season's final Old Firm clash looms, and though pride is still at stake, it's hard to escape the feeling that the real battles are taking place off the field. In a stunning development, it's now understood that Red Bull, the energy drink giant known for their aggressive sporting investments, could soon take pride of place on the famous blue shirts, mirroring the model they helped establish at Leeds United following 49ers Enterprises' $170 million buyout there. The move would mark a major shift in Rangers' commercial landscape. And that's not the end of it. The 49ers arrival may not only bring fresh investment and new branding, but also see the return of a familiar face to the Ibrox dugout. None other than Steven Gerrard, the man who led Rangers to their historic 55th league title and ended Celtic's dominance, is now being tipped for a sensational comeback. While other names have been floated, including Marco Rose, who has his backers among the bookies, sources close to the club insist that the groundwork is being laid for Gerrard's return. After a turbulent spell at Aston Villa and a brief, unremarkable venture into Saudi Arabian football, Gerrard is said to be eager for another crack at leading Rangers back to the top. The vision laid out by those with inside knowledge of the deal is an ambitious one. It would see Rangers lean heavily into the commercial muscle of Red Bull while aiming to restore the club's battered footballing pride through savvy management and strong recruitment. Leading the technical side of the rebuild is said to be Gerd Strand's 49ers Enterprises technical chief, who has begun the process of identifying targets both on the pitch and off it. With takeover talks having gained serious momentum in recent weeks, described as productive by those close to negotiations with Andrew Kavanagh, the sense is that decisive action is imminent. Meanwhile, in the here and now Rangers, interim manager Barry Ferguson isn't sugarcoating the state of affairs. After a disappointing 22 draw away at St. Mirren, a match where Rangers twice took the lead through Desires and Raskin, only to be pegged back both times, Ferguson delivered a scathing assessment of his squad. Speaking candidly after the match, he warned that no player's future is safe contract or no contract. Everybody's playing for their future. He said bluntly, there's going to be a lot of changes, and there needs to be. It's a message that leaves no room for doubt. The standards expected at Rangers are non-negotiable, and anyone not meeting them will find themselves moved on. Ferguson's comments come at a time when the club's sporting structure is already being reshaped. The arrival of Kevin Thelwell as the new sporting director is a clear statement of intent. Thelwell, known for his strategic thinking and strong Recruitment background will be tasked with overseeing a squad overhaul that's long overdue. The plan is to move quickly. As Ferguson pointed out, the end of the season will offer only a brief respite before pre-season, and crucial European qualifiers are upon them. There is no time to waste. Adding to Ferguson's concerns is the potential loss of Robin Proper. The veteran Dutch defender picked up an ankle injury during the draw with St. Mirren, and though he managed to see out the full 90 minutes, there are fears he could be sidelined for a significant spell. Ferguson admitted after the game that the severity of the injury remains unclear, but warned it could be a few days or a few weeks before Proper is fit again. It's yet another headache in a season full of them, but Ferguson was adamant injuries are part and parcel of football, and others must be ready to step up when called upon. All in all, it's a pivotal time for Rangers. The club stands at a crossroads with the promise of a glittering future on one side and the hard reality of the present on the other. For the fans weary after another season of disappointment but cautiously hopeful about what's to come, the next few weeks could define the club's trajectory for years to come. A Red Bull-fueled 49ers-backed Rangers with Steven Gerrard at the helm would represent a massive shift, not just a new chapter, but a whole new book in the club's storied history. But of course, talk is cheap in football, and Rangers supporters have heard all the promises before. For every grand plan and bold declaration, there's been just as much heartache and frustration. That's why, despite all the noise around the takeover and Steven Gerrard's potential return, there's a real sense among the fans that actions will need to speak louder than words this time. The loyalty of the Ibrox faithful has never been in doubt, but it's not blind. The days of simply rallying behind empty slogans are over. If this is truly to be a new era, it has to be built on substance, not just sentiment. Much will depend on the caliber of players brought in during the summer. There's no escaping the fact that this Ranger squad needs serious surgery. Too many have flattered to deceive. Too many have shrunk when the pressure's been on. Barry Ferguson, for all his passion and understanding of the club, knows that sentimentality can't play a part in the rebuild. The word coming out of Ibrox is that there could be as many as a dozen departures, with replacements already being lined up behind the scenes. Names like Lawrence Shankland and Jan Kudo have been mentioned in passing, but the recruitment drive will need to be smarter than just chasing big names. It's about finding players who can handle the weight of the badge, who won't fold under the sheer expectation that comes with wearing the blue shirt. Financially, the proposed Red Bull partnership and 49ers backing could give Rangers the kind of stability and muscle that's been lacking for years. But it won't be a free-for-all. The new owners are said to be keen on building sustainably, avoiding the boom and bust cycles that have haunted the club before. That means clever investment, not reckless spending. The hope is to create a model more akin to what Red Bull have done so successfully elsewhere, developing young talent selling high when necessary, but crucially maintaining a competitive team that can challenge year after year, and in the background the eternal shadow of Celtic looms large. Across the city, they are gearing up for another title party, while Rangers are left picking over the bones of a season that promised much but delivered little. The sting of failure will linger, especially after throwing away key results in the title race and suffering a bitter League Cup final defeat. Yet in some ways, the pain might just be the fuel needed for real change. There's no hiding from it. Rangers must become ruthless again. They must find that relentless, unforgiving edge that defined the best sides in their history. Nothing less will do if they are to wrestle back supremacy. The return of Steven Gerrard, should it happen, would undoubtedly inject fresh energy and optimism. He remains for many a heroic figure, the man who ended the nightmare of 10 in a row and restored pride to the badge. But it's not without risk. The Gerrard who left in 2021 was a rising managerial star. The one who would return has scars. His time at Aston Villa ended sourly, and his spell in Saudi Arabia barely registered a ripple. Managing Rangers a second time would not be a nostalgic lap of honor. It would be a brutal test of whether he has truly grown as a manager, learned from his setbacks, and is ready to lead a club with ambitions far bigger than simply competing. The board, or rather the new board under the 49ers leadership, will need to show courage too. Too often in recent years, Rangers have been caught between two minds, trying to please the traditionalists while also flirting with modernization. This time, there can be no half measures. Whether it's embracing new commercial partnerships like Red Bull, investing heavily in youth infrastructure, or radically modernizing the scouting and data departments, the club has to move with the times. That doesn't mean abandoning identity. It means strengthening it for a new generation. And the supporters, they'll be there as always. Nobody in football does loyalty quite like the Rangers support. Through liquidation, through the dark days in the lower leagues, through every disappointment since they have stood by their club. But make no mistake, they're demanding more now. They want a team worthy of their backing one that fights for every ball, that treats every game as if it's life and death. They want leadership off the field that matches the passion they bring to every corner of Scotland and Europe. It's not just about winning trophies, though that's non-negotiable. It's about re-establishing Rangers as a force that opponents, fear, and fans can be proud of. In the coming weeks, the pieces will begin to fall into place. The official announcement of the 49ers takeover is expected soon. Red Bull's involvement could be unveiled alongside a new kit deal that would see a radical redesign of the club's merchandise. Steven Gerrard's appointment, if it happens, could be the centerpiece of a summer of renewal. New signings will be unveiled, old faces will depart, and preseason will begin under the weight of fresh expectation. But amidst all the change, one thing must remain constant: the standards that made Rangers great in the first place. Hard work, pride, resilience, and a burning desire to be the best. These can't be negotiated, watered down, or forgotten. They must be the foundation stones upon which the new Rangers are built. There's a long road ahead full of obstacles and uncertainties. Rival clubs won't stand still. Celtic certainly won't make life easy. European football, too, will present its own harsh lessons. But if Rangers can harness the energy of change without losing their soul, if they can turn pain into progress and history into hunger, there's no limit to what they can achieve. And maybe, just maybe, this summer will be remembered not as the end of another disappointing season, but as the moment Rangers stopped looking backwards and finally started marching forward again. Boldly, relentlessly, like Rangers should. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. There is a growing sense of concern within Scottish football circles following rumors that Rangers legend John Greig is going through a difficult period in his personal life. Although no official statement has been released by the club or by Greig's family, whispers have circulated among those close to Ibrox that the 82-year-old icon is facing significant challenges behind the scenes. Greig, a symbol of loyalty and resilience, has long been revered not only by Rangers supporters, but across the Scottish football community. As captain, he led Rangers to countless honours, including the famous European Cup Winners' Cup triumph in 1972. His contributions to the club and to the game have earned him a permanent place in the hearts of fans with a statue outside Ibrox. Standing as a testament to his enduring legacy, news of Greig's current struggles has understandably sparked an outpouring of sympathy and support from supporters and former teammates alike. Many have taken to social media to express their admiration for the man known simply as Mr. Rangers and to offer their thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. There is a deep respect for everything he has given to the sport and to Rangers. And now there's a collective desire to give something back by showing unwavering support. At Ibrox, staff and players are said to be aware of the situation and are keeping Greig and his family in their thoughts. Several figures associated with the club have privately spoken about the importance of standing by one of the greatest figures ever to wear the famous blue jersey. While details remain scarce out of respect for Greig's privacy, it is clear that his influence continues to be felt. His strength of character, which inspired so many on the pitch, is now serving as a beacon of courage off it as well. In times like these, the football community shows its best side, coming together, putting rivalries aside, and remembering that behind every legend is a human being who sometimes needs the same support they once provided to others. For John Greig, the message is simple. The Rangers family, and indeed the whole of Scottish football, stands with him. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.